Hey guys, we have a little bit of a different episode today.
It's a bit of an odd episode.
It's a bit of an odd episode, and there's also a couple really odd news stories, I must say. But that being said, there's been some issues with someone that has been mentioned on the last few episodes, and that's our good friend Eric. He's the one who took me golfing. We talked about golfing, but Eric, wasn't too thrilled with the feedback he got, the way that some people approached him. And frankly, he thinks I misrepresented him. And, this is an honest, fair, and balanced news channel. And it's our responsibility to give Eric his chance to stand up for himself. So Eric's on the pod today.
I mean, let's just start with this episode in the Valley.
Yes.
Near Ventura Boulevard.
This is like the finale of Seinfeld. Is like,
yes. I mean, this is, you're talking 80-90% penetration of households for this episode. And this is going to spread through the community.
You're going to hear it out of the car speakers when you're walking down Ventura.
John and Eric have this golf beef, and I don't think anything was settled.
Nothing was settled.
I don't even know what the problem is still.
I'm not sure I do.
So this episode's a bit pointless, but it's fun and entertaining. And, I think you guys will enjoy the story. And then we do talk about news, but I'll be honest, for news, it's a weird fucking episode.
It's wild. A weird episode of news. The story right after golf, the first news story is the weirdest news story we've ever talked about. Yes. But it is news. It's not a comedy skit, even though it seems like it. And then it is, now on Wednesdays, we end with our winners, losers, and content. So, of course, we're doing that. So it's a great episode. I mean, first 20 minutes, huge in the Valley, to be determined on the rest of the world. And then we got some crazy news, and that'll be our, we'll sail you into the rest of the week with that.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, guys.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Alrighty, we got a guest in the studio. All three hosts here. It's going to be a great Wednesday episode. Winners, losers, content. Go for it.
Fuck winners, losers, content. We have some business to handle.
Uh-oh.
Eric, welcome to the pod. Thanks for stepping up.
Thank you, fellas.
So for the listeners, this has become a thing. So Eric took me to his country club a week and a half ago, El Cab, and I did a little review, which I thought was completely fair and non-biased. Okay. And it turns out Eric received some flack in the group chats from the friends, from wives of friends, from strangers, from people he hasn't seen since high school. And, he felt a certain way. I understand. And, then we had another golf session last week. We went to Bel Air. I don't know how Eric feels about that exactly, but essentially Eric has been talking to me for about a week and a half now saying like, I need to talk. You're ridiculous. Your takes are garbage. And I can tell he's pissed, but I can't get him on the phone. And so here he is on the pod. We're going to do it in public.
Right. Well, thank you for that intro, Drama. I don't think I came at you that strongly, but I did think it was relevant to talk about this.
Can I read the text that sounded like it came from a lawyer?
I was being sarcastic with you trying to fuck around. Then you said sending it to everybody.
That looks like a lawyer drafted it.
Yeah, but that was because I got to keep it professional. At the end of the day, I do work. So I do work for everybody here, so I got to keep it professional.
Our fantasy football chat can't wait for this episode to come out. They've been gassing up Eric to come with the heat.
Wow.
Just bring it.
So to give context, we mentioned Eric on the pod before. Eric grew up with Anand and I in the Valley. We've known him basically since he was born. And so we all know each other very, very well. The interesting thing is Drama and Eric, become friends because, started working together and all these things. And, Eric used to work out of our office for a few days a week back in the day. And so we all, became close with Drama. And what's interesting is Eric, for the most part, is not a confrontational person. Bit of a pussy.
He's a shit talker, though.
He's a big shit talker, but he's a guy that talks behind your back.
Yeah. Completely not accurate.
Or he makes like little comments, this all started. And you said you had to keep it professional. You called me a pussy like 3 times
You're
before.
a pussy. You're a pussy. Yeah, but that's just factual. First of all, I don't go behind people's backs. I'm not that confrontational in general.
No, I said you were not confrontational at all.
Yeah.
You make jabs in people's faces.
Yeah, I like to keep it.
But you like to talk shit behind people's back.
I'll say it to their face.
Okay.
But I don't know where to start here. Drama.
Why are you insulted? Why are you here?
What's the problem? Where did this all? Where did this become?
Well, I can go a number of ways. The first thing is I'm here because Anand likes nothing more in life than me getting shit on. That's his favorite thing in the world. True. And he's instigated the whole thing. And Drama played into it perfectly. And I'm getting hit by everybody. Everybody's shitting on me. People that have been nice to me my whole life been shitting on me. and it's
people don't realize the influence this podcast has in the Valley.
In
the Valley, it is like fucking Joe Rogan. We're the Joe Rogan of the Valley.
I have to take a step back. I'm impressed. Yeah. You guys, it's real. The drive is real, and I'm getting hit from everybody. So my problem is not the insults. I'm not offended at all. You're not insulting me.
You're standing up for the club.
Yeah, no, not even the club. You're kind of lying. You've kind of been lying. So I do want to hit on a few topics.
So you just want to clear the record.
I want to clear the record because here's my fear. D and recently Anand have become big. I call Anand clickbait all the time. He likes to make comments that bring a lot of attention.
I like to lead the witness.
Yeah,
he's an entertainer.
You don't strike me as that person. And that's what seems to have been happening here.
I think everything I said was factual, accurate, and maybe understated. Right. So
I'd like to
understated.
Can I walk through
I think I went a little easy because I didn't want to get banned from clubs, but now I'm kind of over that.
I'll make a statement about LCAB.
Are you on the board? You need to disclose if you're on the board or something.
No, not at all.
Okay. You're just a member.
I'm just a member. Okay. And I use it probably less than every other member for anything other than golf. So it's a good golf course. I like to play it. I don't give a shit about anything else.
Okay. Decent people. Uptight though, right?
Well, we're going to get there. Okay. So it may or may not be uptight, but you walked into this golf club with a backwards hat on, carrying a bag and an untucked shirt.
Yeah.
Any other place in LA, probably the country, if you walk in like that, someone's going to say something. I'll
just tell you that of all the places that I've been, which is admittedly not like the Bel Air and the LACCs, I have never. Now we're trying to be accurate here. So when I walked in with that stuff, nobody said anything to me. You told me.
I was like, hey, I don't think you should have
probably turn the hat around.
You're not supposed to do that. Yeah.
I said, okay, no big deal. The actual first confrontation that I had at LCAB was the older gentleman.
Yeah, go ahead.
This triggered Eric.
Go ahead. This was a trigger point for me.
Comment.
So the older gentleman. So Eric's dad was 2 stalls over from us at the driving range. And Eric and I were catching up while we're hitting the balls. There's probably 4 people hitting balls. They're pretty spread out, but there's one gentleman about 10 feet away from us. We're catching up, chit-chatting, and the guy looked over and said, does he always talk this much when you're trying to play? And pointed at me.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I said, what kind of crowd is this?
So first of all, you didn't say that.
No. That's what I said. That's my comment.
So what you just said is accurate. But I don't know if you're just not observant or you don't read old Jews well.
Well, that's probably part 2.
For context for the audience here, this guy was probably 85 to 90 years old.
Okay.
Sitting behind him was his caretaker. So somebody brought this old bastard to the golf course to hit like 20 balls because he could barely stand. And he turned and said it to me and laughed. And then when I said to him, yeah, it actually helps me, he said, maybe you should talk in my backswing. And then he told me to have a great time out there.
Yeah,
so this guy was joking. Being completely kind. It was completely out of context.
Oh, wow. That's Drama took it out of context.
So you interpreted it just like comedy banter.
This was not interpreted. I had a full blown like banter with the guy. He was just fucking around. Like he was making a joke because.
I think it's the second part where you said like I don't understand. You said old Jewish men or something. To me, it sounded a little offensive. And all that I'm saying is when I'm doing my job, which is to be the Anthony Bourdain of country clubs, an old guy talking some shit with his caretaker isn't what I like to see. And I would like to have my shirt untucked if this old man.
That was the first 3 minutes of you starting to be this Anthony Bourdain. so like, if we're being realistic here,
it happened quick.
This old guy, like, okay, El Cab might be uptight in places.
L-tight.
The new name.
Freudian slip.
This particular instance was an old jovial guy trying to have some fun with young guys hitting balls on the range where nobody cares what you
Young
do.
guys hitting balls. That's what golf's all about, huh?
Yeah, you probably
I say
love
we
it.
keep it that way. You know what I mean?
So-
Keep the
so in
caretakers
that-
over at Braemar.
In that context, I think drama is just wrong, respectfully, in this part.
Okay. So
Now-
so I should not have taken that any sort of way, is what you're saying.
No, I actually think you should have taken it the other way, which is like,
Okay,
oh,
got
that
it.
guy's
Friendly
friendly,
old man.
he's here for some fun. Now,
Love it. Okay.
one part that does bother me is when we finished the 9th hole, Drama and I were walking off, and the head pro at El Cab was doing his job and came up to me and said, hey, if you don't mind, his shirt is untucked, and if you don't mind telling him, that would be great. I don't like that. I think it's weird. I wish that they would just tell him directly, because he probably would have been like, okay, cool.
It made
And
me
I
feel
don't-
weird. It made me feel
Yeah,
alienated
it made
and
me
not
feel
welcome.
weird. I agree with you on that.
Love it.
But that is
But
that-
drama didn't follow the rules.
right. And as much as I
Correct.
hate country club rules, those are the rules.
But do they have like a sign when you walk in?
So,
Like, how do you know what the rules are?
the
so-
member has to tell you.
well, there is a sign in the locker room.
Like
I
when
think.
is there initiation where you started joining the club and they tell you,
Oh,
here are
yeah.
the rules?
There's bylaws. They treat it like a Fortune 500. So,
But,
you go
nobody
through this
told
list.
me.
Well,
And
that's not
instead, I
true.
got this weird, like, whispery.
That's not true. I told you.
When did you tell me?
Probably on text. I probably said to you like, "Hey, collared shirt."
No, look
shorts
it up
are
and see if you
okay.
said tucked in.
Okay.
Wow.
You're like right now.
Yeah, search
No,
tucked in.
search- don't take me for-
Search tucked.
I will.
Search tucked.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this: Did you think that was a rule? Like, did you
No,
think that you're supposed to?
Honestly, I want to be honest here.
Yeah.
The thought didn't cross my mind because every place that I have been, once again, is not Bel Air, LACC, whatever, but Pelican, Braemar across the street, whatever. They don't
But
really care.
Pelican's
It might.
public,
Pelicans public.
No. I know. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
of all the places I have been, Braemar across the street, which I understand is the hood in your guys' terms, but but that's a country club. And even though in their things they might say tucked shirt, nobody ever actually cares. And so I have learned over time. I used to tuck and wear a belt every time. I've learned over time nobody really cares, so I don't really do it.
Yeah.
My main concern though was the weird, hey, can you tell the new guy? You know, I didn't like it. It didn't feel welcoming.
Yeah, I don't like it either. And that is a fucked up part about country clubs in general. One of the things I've actually complained about is you're not allowed to confront other members because it's like bad practice. So
I'm not a
for
member.
instance, no, but, or guests, like even if it was me that had an untucked shirt, some other member couldn't come and tell me to tuck it in. They have to go tell somebody else. So it's this weird thing that I don't like either. But my point is, you came on and you started saying how El Cab is uptight and Bel Air was not. Bel Air, by the way, is amazing and better than El Cab in my mind. I love it. But you showed up with a tucked in shirt and a forward hat with your glasses on the first
Shut
day.
up and dribble. So he shut up and dribble.
Bel Air, we're talking about Bel Air. But listen, I just want to.
But if you showed up in that,
we're not talking about Woodland Hills. We're talking about Bel Air.
It's Tarzana.
I just passed the weekend's house to get here. It's
And
what?
you knew Barack was on property.
Yeah, Barack's on property. I just drove past fucking 3 billionaires' houses to get here. I'm tucking in. But let me just say, I did not in my review say El Cab is uptight and Bel Air is not. I just said El Cab is, this is my review, and I'll go on record. El Cab is too uptight for what it is. They have Bel Air rules, and they're not Bel Air. That's my complaint.
So I think that
I said it.
It's great. By the way,
What's the
love
price
Bel Air.
discrepancy?
It's not what you think it is.
It's 2x.
Is it for sure? Did you confirm that? I think Bel Air is going to be upgrading theirs when their clubhouse is done, but I don't think it is.
We need to get clarity.
dues are, I think.
You could bleep this out, Ari, and you can tell me if this is right. Isn't it okay for Bel Air for El Cap?
So I don't know what Bel Air. I don't know if Bel Air's yet, but I don't think it's that high.
So okay, I mean,
Well, but
that's
what's El
interesting.
Cap? We'll bleep it, but what's El Cap?
Right, to join right now, it's 1,000, and the dues are more.
I think,
the
than at
dues
Bel
are
Air.
dues
Sure,
are
but
more.
even double.
I
Dues are
mean,
more than Bel
to
Air.
be fair, these guys at Bel Air own billions in property. It's really just who the member is that they're accepting. So the
Yes.
nominal value isn't as
Yes.
important
Yeah.
as
Thank
it's
you.
impossible to become a member.
Yeah, but I think the point I'm having is like, there's a rule. They just nicely like try to enforce it. I don't think they're saying like, hey, we're as good as Bel Air, because they're not, and they're just trying to have these rules.
I don't like the attitude is my problem. I'm not mad at your rules.
You didn't have the balls to try that at Bel Air. What do you think they would have?
This
They
is my
might throw your
point,
ass
though.
out.
This is
They
my
would have
point.
thrown your ass out of that.
This is my point. I want to stick to my point because you kind of are twisting my point. My point is Bel Air is allowed to do that. El Cab is not. That's my point.
So you're
Bel Air-
basically saying when you go to Delilah or Bird Streets, you know you can't take your phone out. And
Sure.
that's just
Whereas
understood.
it's like if I went to fucking, I mean, where? I don't know. What's a nice restaurant that's
I
not?
was going to say Cheesecake Factory, but
I know I was too, but it's not that. It's not that. That's
It doesn't
Braemar.
even bother me. Like, I don't even care.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like you go to a nice restaurant and they come up and say, no phones. Like try to act like you're Delilah. And that's all I'm saying. Delilah's allowed to be
perfect.
Delilah.
Houston, South Beverly Grill, they think
Sure.
they're Delilah, but they're
And that's
a
annoying.
diner.
And
They're
when
a
they
diner.
do
But-
that, that's annoying. That's all I'm
does
saying.
You're saying if Houston says no cameras or no phones or
They
whatever.
say no
If Houston
hats, but they've
thinks
moved.
that
They've
they're
changed
Bird
that.
Streets or
Okay.
Delilah, you're like, hey guys, calm the fuck down. And that's my opinion with El Cap.
Right. So one thing, I can respect that, but Braemar does have these rules, and you said you've never seen them enforce it.
Never.
I can make the statement. I think that El Cab is closer to Bel Air than it is to Braemar in terms of discrepancy.
So this is what I think. I think course management. Yes, I think that's accurate. I think the course is beautiful.
I gotta see this place. I gotta
No,
know these
why
country
haven't you
clubs.
invited me?
I've invited you 100
No, you've
times.
invited everyone
Then you
else to
tell-
the golf
Then you go on and you tell Neil it's too far, and then you go up there.
I mean, the guy's staying at Beverly Hills Hotel. He can't be driving on a Friday afternoon to Woodland Hills.
It's Tarzana. It takes 15 fucking minutes. You guys are idiots. The other thing I guess,
His ask because him, Neil, Brew, and Scott Pickett, my brother-in-law, they're a foursome tandem that travels the world playing golf.
Yeah, it must be nice.
it's
And-
great.
And when Neil comes to town, he's staying at the Beverly Hills Hotel. Like, what's more convenient, going to Bel Air or going to El Cab?
Yeah.
I bet you it's not that far.
All
Yeah,
day.
difference.
But the
Plus,
thing
Bel Air
is,
is just like you're in Bel Air. Like the houses lining the golf course are like $100 million. Like,
And he gets
it's
offended when I
wild.
tell him. I'm like,
no, I get it.
he gets offended when I say, Neil, you're not going to the Valley at Friday, coming back at 5 p.m.
I mean, maybe once
but-
or twice, but it's hot. It's a whole
It
different
gets
thing.
misinterpreted. Bel Air, of course, I'd rather go to Bel Air. Brew has hosted there like 3-4 times, and he pays for it. And I'm saying like, hey, come over here.
Why don't you send him a Venmo?
Maybe I'll do that. I'll Venmo Brew.
But do you see
Solves
what
the
you're
problem.
saying right now? You said, of course, I would love to go to Bel Air. Like you are admitting that Bel Air, forget price, it's just in a different tier. And all that I'm saying, and I will stand by this, is El Cab is not in that tier, and they act stuck up and snotty. And I think it's annoying.
I agree with everything you said until they act stuck up and snotty. I don't think you have a reference point. you made up some story about an old guy who was having some fun, and then like, yeah, you're supposed to tuck your shirt in. Nobody came up.
No, it's not.
You weren't
This is the
telling
thing.
me that it was uptight. And by the way, you didn't even hang at all on the premises.
I didn't want to. I didn't feel welcome.
Oh my God. All right.
That's fair.
That's
I
good
mean,
golf talk.
I
Is there
think
anything else, Eric, before we leave? Because I know, like,
You have to clear the air?
Is there any other air clear? I know you were a little annoyed about, I talked about the cigar.
Oh, no, I don't care about that.
Okay.
That's great. It was funny. No, that was great.
Is there
humor.
anything else? I
write
gave
it.
you credit for being a better golfer than me. I feel like I was pretty fair and unbiased, just like I said.
Yeah, you gave me credit for being a better golfer. You said it in a pretty
condescending tone.
very
He said
condescending
it in
tone.
the sense that he doesn't like it that you're that much better.
Yeah, I don't. The way that you are. So let me tell you exactly what that means.
What's
clear it.
drama golfing? He doesn't really tell us. What is he, 100?
Well, so a couple things. He didn't break 100 either time we played. He also didn't just say I was a better golfer. I believe you said, and I could be
What
wrong.
do you golf?
Like
Give me a
where I
number.
shoot, 85, 88.
Oh, wow.
something
You're
like that.
good.
He's
I
good.
can.
Is
I
that
can-
only an El
honest.
Cab? Or
El Cab is harder, I think, than like Bel Air as a course or
It is.
Equal.
All right.
Not as good of a vibe drama, just as a.
They're
track,
just not.
like a golf.
They're just not as uptight. As,
I believe you said Eric Weiss is not the kind of guy you want to lose at anything.
yeah. You want me to
Lose to
clarify
Yes.
that? You want me to clarify that for you?
Yeah, why not? I love it.
That's what we're here to do, is clear the air. Is
Yeah,
the
clear the
same in the beginning of the show when we talked about all the shit you talk and the little jabs. You're a jabber. You're a
Okay.
jabber, and
He's
you're
a
the type of
counterpuncher.
guy
Floyd
that
Mayweather
I don't ever
over here.
want you to be have
He's
a
a little
good
guy.
reason to
Little
have
guys
a
got
jab.
jab. They're not going for the knockout. They're jabbing.
He's a jabber, and I don't want you to fucking beat me at anything because you're like. Let me tell you guys a story. The 2 days before we went golfing, I have been going to the gym lately. You guys know this, and I hit a new PR of this lift, right? That took me a year to learn. It looks like a CrossFit kind of move, and I come home from the gym after hitting this PR, and I show it to Eric. And he laughs out loud, cracks up laughing. And first comment is, look at your legs, because I have skinny legs. And then his second comment was, I feel like I could do that right now. And that's what I'm saying. I don't want you to be better than me at anything. And I know even though you think you could beat me up, I know that's not true. Even though you think you could do these exercises, I know that's not true. But if you talk shit about golfing, unfortunately right now you're right. And that annoys me.
Yeah. But what have I always told you? If you played enough, you'd be better than me quickly.
Yeah, I think I'll be better than you in 2 years.
Yeah. But right now, you can't hit it more than 170 yards. This
is the problem. You motherfucker.
But I will say that to tie a bow, this Anthony Bourdain thing is picking up steam.
Yeah.
Joe Diggs, who listens to the pod, said I need to host you at Silver Leaf
Where's that?
in Arizona.
Nice.
And apparently
that's
it's like,
amazing.
yeah. it's Bel Air level, I think.
But Eric, now
I'm
you're
making that up. I have
included
no
on
idea.
all these invites. So like,
Well,
this is
that
benefiting
one I
you.
am, because I know hey, listen, I encouraged you to do this. I was very supportive of this. I think I started the whole thing by taking you, right, for the review. So I want you to do this. It's great. I just want you to be fair in your assessments. And then I do have one tip for you also.
Sure.
So I played with you twice on these course reviews, and both times you played and you left immediately. I think part of the experience is you got to go have a bite or a drink if you can carve it out with whoever you're there with to get a feel for especially like Bel Air. That's what they're known for. It's a treat. And I think as you go to these places, you should
I
be
think
able
you
to do
made
that.
a big mistake not hanging out the clubhouse at Bel Air. The handful of times I've been, the crowd's insane.
I agree. Okay. In order to give a proper review, I will say El Cab, I didn't feel welcome, but Bel Air, I should have stayed. And I will do that as I get more serious into my fancy golf reviews. That's a great point.
Okay.
Yeah. And keep it moving. You're doing great.
Great. So do you think I'll be allowed back at El Cab, or how do you think that's going to go now?
By them or by me? Because I'm not fucking inviting you.
Got it. So what if another friend,
I'm
I guess
taking these
another
guys. I'm going to take these guys for a driving range session and a meal.
I love that.
Yeah. Anytime.
I mean, they talk way more shit than I. They're going to rip it to fucking pieces.
Yeah, but I expect it out of them. they're going
so
to
you
fabricate
expected
something.
better out of
I
me. That's the
expected
problem.
better.
He had higher standards for you.
Got
You
it,
know
got
what you're
it.
getting with me.
Yeah,
we
I'm
should-
coming in guns blazing.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we dialed in our standards a little. You know, they shouldn't be too high.
So where's next? Do you have something on the docket?
Well, as far as fancy goes, I think there's it literally Anand's the guy who knows all the golfers. So there's, I heard LACC, I heard
Yep.
Silverleaf.
Yeah, I've been told. Just connect me with drama. Take him to LACC.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
So I have a feeling I'm
Great.
not getting invited back there.
You should probably do long sleeves there.
Yeah.
It's full.
Because they have like, you shouldn't even take photos. Like they're pretty.
Well, I certainly can't go there.
You and your old man with the caretaker ain't allowed in there.
Yeah, no. He was excluded back in the day. That's why he's at El Cab. Yeah.
Eric, I'm curious of this.
Yeah.
At Bel Air, because I don't really honestly know the crowd. I was trying to wrap my head around the crowd. Like, is it celebrities? Is it all billionaires? Is it what's even here? Because, you know, my first time I saw Barack Obama. So, like, is this normal?
Yeah.
What percentage of the Bel Air members do you think are Barack Obama fans versus really don't like Barack Obama?
You mean like based on their political preference?
5% like him?
Yeah. But I would
no,
say they probably, it's
You
a
say
small
90?
percentage that like him, but they, at the same token, they probably are starstruck.
We'd have to ask.
God.
Like, we'd have to ask.
I think he is that level of fame, regardless of his politics.
Yeah. So no
I
one's
think
like
it's
mad.
not as drastic as they're saying. I think Bel Air is actually
Woke?
a little bit more like receptive and woke, especially like some of the younger members. Like from being around them, I don't think it's like one of the massively uptight and
Because LACC is 0.
yeah. I'd probably say 0.
Because I feel like Bel Air seems like there's a lot of like, you know, like liberal billionaires in LA.
Yeah, I think that's probably I think there's a lot of that there. Like you're in an area
Like
that is
his
a little
George
more
Soros
liberal.
member?
Yeah, like that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not sure. But
I
it's
just
not as bad
wondered
as you
when he-
think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we settled that.
So
Wanna
that,
talk
I mean, that
some
was
restaurants?
easy. That wasn't even any real
Just in
beef.
general?
No, we have a great restaurant topic coming up right now. You want to
I
sit in
think
on
it's
it?
right up your
Yeah,
alley.
I'm sitting here. I'm listening.
Okay,
You
let's go.
guys got to explain this because I read this tweet and I am so fucking confused. So you guys break it down.
If you live in LA, this is very, very big news. There's a very popular restaurant actually right near where I live called Horses. It's like one of these restaurants, very hard to get. You've seen like Jeff Bezos, Jay-Z. I think they had dinner there, the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a pretty insanely popular, it's like a small little restaurant. I've actually never eaten there
Neither have I.
just because the menu is not.
Sadly, we never will be able to.
Yeah, we'll never be able to eat there because this dude was out here choking kittens.
What do you mean? You're
And it's now leaked on LA Times. Just
So
posted it.
basically, one of the co-chefs and his wife are in a divorce right now, and in the divorce papers or settlement, basically she accused him of one. There was a mysterious cat disappearance in 2017, and then they had stray cats they welcomed into their home and into the restaurant. And one day she saw him strangling one of the kittens to death and then kept the corpse in the trash can.
And then what else do you do?
yeah. There's more.
Yeah,
to
the
that.
rumor is this.
So this is how
this
it
is not in the
bubbled
LA
up.
Times. This is not in the LA Times.
This
just
is
to be
how
clear.
it bubbled up. It started showing up in text messages
of LA,
this-
LA hospitality people.
LA hospitality people. And then one leaked on Twitter. And we're talking from, call it 8, 9 a.m. These texts are, we got a couple in our group chats. And then it leaked on Twitter probably 2 hours later. And then LA Times comes out with an article
Just now.
What are
But
the
the
texts
text
saying?
reads.
You can read it. It's public.
Apparently, Liz was already feeling increasingly freaked out and thinking something was up. She comes home a few months ago and Will is beating his meat while strangling a kitten.
Funny name for a restaurant now. Horses.
Keep him away from horses, man. If he's fucking choking out kittens.
I mean,
Immediate thoughts, Eric. You're kind of an expert in this category.
Yeah, what's weird about it?
Where's the story?
Interesting. A lot to unpack.
I mean, look, obviously the restaurant's over. I mean, this is such a disgusting story. How could you go back and eat at this place?
Do they fire him? Do they fire him and keep going?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the new
Do you
hot
think there's
restaurant,
a
right?
line out the door tonight because it's one of the last times this restaurant's going to be open?
You think so?
I do.
But I mean, think about
Can
it.
you drive by later tonight?
Yeah.
I don't think. What if they don't close it? What if they just fire the guy? There's some sickos in LA, man. They don't mind a little.
I'm very curious to see what happens. Like, what is the perception? Is this a Bud Light situation where you just kind of boycott it because it represents, like, that person's still going to make money off the restaurant?
Yeah, I don't know if there's a morality clause from his investors.
Yeah.
It's- I
Probably.
mean,
I mean,
it's like
that's
the
probably new for a restaurant to have a morality
Yeah,
clause.
this is-
What bothers you more, that he strangled the cat or that he was jerking off to it?
Strangling the cat.
Me too.
I think the jerking
mean-
off to it. It's like if you strangle a cat, that's like, whoa, dude, what's wrong with you? But
Well,
the
you're a
fact that it
murderer.
sexually
You're just
gets
horny.
you off.
Yeah, one of them I think is more illegal, and the other one is just weird, right?
Yeah.
But when it's
Which
the
one's weird to you?
compounding.
I can't speak on that.
It's when you add them.
Yeah, you add
Like
them
if
together,
someone-
it's sick.
Like if someone like punched a baby, you'd be like, what is wrong with this psycho? But if they punched a baby while jerking off, it's like, whoa, dude, that's a whole nother level.
That's insane.
I think you
Put it
guys
in
are
that-
wrong
in
here.
that- Yeah.
I think that, I mean, yeah. The whole thing is wrong. The
I
whole
think
thing
it
is
stays
terrible.
open. Let's take bets. I think it stays open hotter than ever by end of summer.
Here's my belief. I think it shuts down immediately tonight. And
Yeah.
it's shut
Let it
for
blow
2
open.
weeks.
Yep.
And then they're hoping, they'll say they fired him and they made changes. We've cleared all the kittens out of the kitchen, like whatever. Like they'll do their song and dance. I mean, it's
You think it's like a Donald Sterling, Robert Sarver, Dan Snyder. He just gets bought out for some premium because the restaurant is popping.
Yeah.
it's got to make money. It's like the rent can't be like it is in Beverly Hills, and it has Beverly Hills people.
Biggest problem you're gonna have is like PETA, if it stays open. Like,
Well,
You
if
just
you
fire the
remove
guy.
him, it's same Donald Sterling. They just removed him.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
paid him
people don't
$2
boycott the
billion.
Clippers.
you guys should host a live show there.
I don't know what's going to happen at that show.
Yeah, for real. Oh,
I
my
mean,
God. What a wild
and
story.
now obviously more news is coming about staff and what's going on. It's like they're going to dunk all over this place.
Yeah.
Here's the thing is that like, and going back to the Bud Light reference, like their sales are still down 26% this week. So we're in a different climate. Before, I think it was a lot easier for something to happen and it to blow over. In this climate, everyone, if you could do us like we're dunking on horses, you know how many people else are going to dunk on horses? Everyone's going to have a joke about it. You think about late night talk shows with this material.
Right. It's
I
definitely.
just want to mention like the Michael Jackson, syndrome where there's documentaries like detailing all this stuff and you just like people just can't stop playing Michael Jackson. I think if the product is good enough, like Bud Light, there's easy alternatives. I think hottest restaurant in LA right now, I don't know that people's morals are stronger than their
I
taste
don't
buds.
think horses is comparable to Michael Jackson in terms of talent.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there's
But
countless.
Yes.
No. There's
I
countless
understand your
examples
reference,
of someone that is the product is so good that people ignore the.
I think he's probably right. Like, think about Nobu. If something happened with Chef Nobu controversial that was as off-putting as this, do you think people would stop going to Nobu?
not
like-
Malibu.
Exactly.
but there's like
Yeah,
hundreds-
but
the product
there's
is so
other
good.
There's
Other
hundreds around the
locations,
world.
Yeah.
Maybe other locations would suffer, but Malibu, I don't think it suffers.
I think maybe the Nursette guy, Salt Bay.
well, that guy already has.
Yeah, doesn't he have Me
Yeah,
Too's?
we see all those
Yeah.
where those fingers are going.
Yeah, it's not just gold.
And it's still packed.
No, it's not. Have you been there?
Only once.
And it was empty.
All I'm saying is there's countless examples of people.
I don't
If
think
the
horses
product's
is
good
that hot.
enough, I wonder.
I just don't-
That'll be the question. Is it good enough to beat strangling kittens while pleasuring yourself? It's a pretty high standard. But if it beats that, you know it's good.
Yeah,
If they stay open, I'm gonna go.
If it can overcome that, I'll make a reservation.
That
Yeah,
means the
that's
food
good
is
food.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Is it Italian? I have no idea.
I have no horses. I don't know.
Do you know drama?
It's
I don't know.
it looks like more like a really traditional American menu. I don't know. I've never been there. I walked by it. I looked at the menu once. Didn't have any vegetarian stuff, so I was like, "There's no point."
I would feel a little sketched about eating meat there, though, if you know what I mean. Because there's just
I agree.
cats getting strangled and fucking.
We just gotta hope if he's removed, the
I
replacement.
mean, if he's doing that when he's strangling a kitten, what is he doing in the kitchen?
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Why
my
does he
point.
like
I think
horses
people
so
are kind of grossed out. The same hands that was strangling a kitten is making
But
your
to
dinner.
Drama's point,
True.
there are a lot of sickos. Like this Cash App founder, rumors are starting to percolate that he was underground sex parties, ketamine, cocaine, and the guy's sister was involved in it. And he
What is an
killed him.
underground sex party in your mind?
My guess it's an orgy.
Yeah. So why is that like? So, I mean, just being honest, like, why is that? They're portraying it like it, like no one. We know that's orgies happen everywhere. I don't think that's fair to make it seem like this guy was some sicko.
I agree.
I mean, the problem
I know you
is we just set the tone with strangling cats and jerking off. So now this feels like child's play. A little ketamine and sex with humans.
Where was the guy jerking off? Was it in the kitchen?
No, I think at home.
I think at home.
So no contamination. They still have an A.
Yeah, we don't.
Well, we
He's
don't know.
going to
I mean,
investigate tonight.
I don't know how
Yeah.
hard
At
that
least by
is to
Sunday's
get.
pod.
I'll walk by.
Saturday night, walk by
Yeah.
and
Saturday
see
night.
if
Yeah.
it's slammed.
Okay. There's going to be protesters out there.
You would think.
Yes.
I wonder.
There's going
I
to be a
really
news crew
wonder.
right now. I guarantee you, ABC7 News is standing outside there right now. It's LA. It's Hollywood.
I
It's
wonder.
insane story.
I
It's
can't tell
literally
anymore.
insane.
Yeah. I just can't tell anymore. And then what about, I mean, this Bob Lee guy, I
think it's they're
think it's just
they're-
such a juicy story. You know, this feels like a Netflix series. I'm sure they're already filming. Like, it's not that like, okay, I don't think there's any correlation between taking some drugs and going to an underground orgy and getting stabbed to death. Like, I don't think it's like, oh, no wonder. But I do think it's like a made for TV, like, tech, all these tech billionaires, secret lives and murder.
Yeah, you can
and
easily
sex.
make it like billions. Like this is how
By the
all
way,
of finance
like-
works.
Yeah.
There's so many successful people that we know that do drugs and have sex.
Without their partner.
Yes.
That's what you're
Yeah, yeah,
implying.
Yes.
Not having.
I know, but like, it's not like, I mean, they're making it feel like he's the only one doing this.
I think it's
Yeah.
sensationalized because if you're not in circles where you see that often, you don't kind of connect the two, and it's just juicy, like Drama said.
I know, but like, if like the neighborhood restaurant chef is out here doing what he's doing, what do you think billionaires who have unlimited resources are doing? Because if you went to your Anytown USA
No, just think
and you
about.
went to like your neighborhood, there's some fucked up shit happening.
Of course, but if you went to where
Yeah.
we grew up in Granada Hills and you just pulled 10 homes in the suburbs, do you find this shocking that this is happening? They would say yes.
I don't.
I think
no.
people just
think so
like the
either.
story.
I don't think so.
It's, you
I
don't know what it is? It's
He's
actually
out in
similar.
Woodland Hills. He can tell you what's going on over there.
What's going on at El Cap?
What's
Anyone
going on
having
at
sex
I'm
in the
sure some
bathroom?
A lot of sick shit. I'm sure there's fucking controversy. In Granada Hills, it's just not as exciting. You know, like people are cheating and doing whatever else there.
I'm sure they're cheating, but I don't think it's as sensationalized as ketamine, cocaine, billionaires, sex parties.
Yeah,
Those
the
are
other
like
thing you have
top
to-
10 topics.
But you just
But
take
you
out
have to-
billionaires. The other two are happening.
But no, you
Everywhere.
have
It's just like meth instead of ketamine.
Yeah, it's just
But it's
cheaper
the
drugs.
final part that
It's
you guys
the-
are missing, which is the stabbed
Tide
to death,
Pods?
murdered on the street. Like,
Yeah,
if it was
true.
just a story about like tech founder goes to sex parties and does drugs, it's like hard to get traction there. but murdered on the street, and there's a video of him die. Like, that's like, what?
Yeah.
Then what are they doing at these sex parties? There's murderers there. You know, it's that.
Or it's like, what did he do to get murdered?
Well, we know that. That's because his sister was involved. And so I think
But we don't know the...
Yeah, I think it's just he was shocked maybe that her sister was present at these.
Don't you think that's happening though in suburbs too? Like there's sex parties and people are getting murdered and they find out that something was going on. Just nobody gives a shit because they're not
billionaires.
Big billionaires.
There's some crazy shit happening all over the world.
I agree. I just don't know. I feel like amongst billionaire land, it's just more like an event that is organized. There's probably great food, cocktails.
You probably don't have to tuck in your shirt.
Oh, God. You don't have to wear a shirt.
It's probably a little grimy in the valley.
Yeah.
The sex parties probably aren't of the same standard.
It's happening everywhere. But I will say, like, it's just good. It's, when it comes to, like, you know, you're a journalist trying to get clicks, pretty sensational. And I bet, you know, middle America, that's like a hot story. And then you're like, oh, that's what they're doing. They're all going to sex parties and murdering. Like, I see the way TikTok breaks down like murders and crime and missing persons. They are obsessed.
Yeah.
There are people on the internet that...
The show Silicon Valley was a hit and it was massively understated of what's actually going on in Silicon Valley.
Yeah,
this just showed it.
Yeah, I think the media is enjoying the sensational part of this story, and they're making it feel like, you know, so many people send me these like, oh my God, look what this guy's doing. And you're just like, well, I mean, if we started looking under the hood everywhere, you're going to see a lot of shit you don't like.
Yeah, the traveling pharmaceutical rep.
Yeah. We don't want to see what they're doing.
You know, at the, you know, hotel bar at
Embassy Suites
or Fairmont. Let's give them a nice hotel.
Yeah.
And where? Phoenix?
Yeah. Phoenix is great for that.
I mean, I learned from TikTok. I don't know if you guys know this, but even in the suburbs, you know, I guess one thing people do is like an upside down pineapple is the sign that you're a swinger. And so you can put like the symbol for being a swinger or down for like some sex parties is an upside down pineapple. So like in the suburbs, if you put an upside down, you know, pineapple, a little statue or something outside your door, you're letting all of the potential other swingers or sex partiers in the neighborhood know you guys are down.
You learned that from TikTok, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
So I'm just saying.
I want to drive around town and see what's going on now.
I'm telling you, bro, so it's happening everywhere. But not a lot of people are getting stabbed on the street in a major city and like stumped. Like I said, it's like this was on video. It was such a crazy story.
Yeah, yeah.
And in a city that's considered zombie land.
Yeah.
So it like fit that
narrative
profile too.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. We're going to a sick place.
Oh yeah. Okay, what do we want to do here?
Let's do a home improvement, Wynn Resorts, and
AI
Shein.
Okay.
And then winners losers content.
Well, let's see how far we go.
Home improvement, Wynn, and Shein.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, home improvements. No more pineapples. People are, you know, it's an area. Well, I don't know if I should say that. Never mind. Let me start over. Sorry, Eric.
Yeah.
The story here is just that people are spending less, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to mention, Eric, that you've been doing home improvements, so that's probably too personal, huh?
I don't give a shit.
You should do it.
Go ahead.
Okay, next up, home improvements. This is an area, actually, Eric, I'm glad you're here for this. I know you've been, from my understanding, it feels like doing home improvements for like 3 years. Maybe I'm
multiple projects.
Yeah, it's a running joke in our fantasy chat. The mansion just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, this guy's just adding, man. Life is good.
Adding a floor, the random third
I saved
story.
a lot of money joining a cheap country club.
If you were at Bel Air, you wouldn't have those home improvements. Okay, so the problem is right now in the country, home improvements are sort of slowing down, and that's obviously a huge business, and a lot of people, benefit from that industry. And there's a trend happening.
Yeah, Home Depot reported their sales to fall between 2 and 5% in 2023, which is interesting because historically in a recession, specifically when homes are not being sold, Home Depot actually thrives because instead of buying a new home, people decide to work on their home and make it just improve what they want so that they don't have to move. I think the problem is that during COVID, everyone spent a ton of money and time and resources on improving their living situation. So it's not just Home Depot, it's also Restoration Hardware is seeing the impacts of it. So many people spent so much money on furniture and all of these home goods and these renovation projects because you're like, fuck it, I'm going to be here for the next few years. Might as well figure this out. And so every business basically is dealing with this like pull forward of revenue that happened a few years ago where like retail experienced it, home improvement, every industry went so big in 2021, 2020. And then 2022, people saw that it was softening, but I don't think people realized like the consumer is definitely the average consumer is definitely in a recession because everyone, Target, Amazon, whatchamacallit, these Home Depot, all are showing negative growth in sales. They're slowing down.
So it's obviously the COVID bump. Everyone was just bored at home making improvements. And I think the comp is really 2019 versus 2023 numbers.
Yeah.
And that would be more interesting because they're comping it over an inflated revenue.
Yeah.
So,
but their stock was reflected based on that inflated revenue.
Right. And so, I mean, I think two things can be true. The consumer is softening and COVID bumps over, which is a bad combination.
Yeah, I'm curious almost if you track the growth, like let's say from 18 to 19, and then track that over. Okay, if that was 2021, what would 22 have been at that same growth rate?
Mm-hmm.
Are we actually off of that trend? Or what? Is lumber still inflated?
No, it's down.
But the cost of debt and construction debt is so much higher than it was in 19, I'm pretty sure, that projects are probably a lot slower. So maybe not your small improvements, but like taking out debt to do larger projects, I think is slowed down.
Has this affected you over at the mansion or no?
No, I have no problem.
Yeah. There's a fourth floor coming.
We're forging along.
I have 4 contractors on payroll. They just do shit. They just fix shit.
But, anecdotally, close friend who's building a house in the valley, high-end home, and he says it's impossible to get contractors, impossible to get, like, the business is still booming.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to reconcile. Maybe the average consumer is slowing down, but the high-end consumer, and he can't find people to do concrete, can't find people to do anything. They're like, I'm booked out 6 months. And he said it's a disaster.
What's interesting, Home Depot first sales decline since 2009.
Wow.
That's insane.
Don't you also think like there's just a little bit of a psychological difference? Like in 2020, 21, 22, it was like, okay, I'm going to be spending more time at home. I want to make my home a place that I love. 23, I feel like psychologically people are a little bit more like, okay, I want to get out of my home. I want to spend this money traveling or.
Well, I mean, that kind of answers your next topic, which is Wynn had a record April.
Yeah.
All Vegas I do is win.
I mean,
Wynn's hot. That's where all those home improvements are going.
Yeah, it's just going down the drain.
That budget's going to the Wynn on roulette.
So Las Vegas had like a record April. Macau also bounced back. Vegas is clearly telling you that I think Vegas is such a unique experience because it's still the only place in the country that can give you that, which is arguably the best food in the country in one concentrated
location. Every great chef has a restaurant.
Hopefully not the guy from Horses. And then entertainment like you've never seen before. Like you want a concert, you want to fight, you want to do whatever, you have it. And then you have gambling on top of that. And if you've noticed the last like 3 months, every weekend there's something happening there. Something epic is happening too. It's like it's a Taylor Swift show, UFC fight, basketball, Final Four. That was like the same weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
Well, it's just
so
the
many
shows.
weekends like that.
Like the Beatles show and the fucking, I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Adele's there every weekend. Usher's there every weekend. I mean, we had friends in Vegas the last 2 nights. Said it was completely slammed. It doesn't even matter.
Nightlife.
It doesn't matter day of the week. Every restaurant, if it's a well-known one, is fully packed. Hard to get a reservation. Like I had to text to get them a Delilah res for drinks. You
Yeah,
can't
I
get it.
couldn't. When I was there a couple weeks ago, I stopped by just to see, and they didn't. It was already late, so I didn't want to bother. But it was booked on like a random day, a Thursday or Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know. I mean, maybe we're oversimplifying, but that feels to me kind of like the story. Like home improvements are down, Vegas is hot. People are
And travel is hot.
Travel's still
Yeah.
hot, right? Like,
High-end hotels. Hotels are on fire. The hotel across the street from the office. It's not that nice. $350 a night.
yeah, it's not nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think travel's still on fire. I think experiences, concerts are still like concert tickets. I look them up sometimes. Who can afford to go to a concert?
And it sounds like Drake broke record numbers for his concert that's starting sometime in the summer.
Yeah.
And that's as expensive as it gets.
Yeah. And the amount of people that were traveling all over the country for Taylor Swift is insane.
Yeah.
And those are thousands of dollars.
And you said Beyonce's on tour?
in Europe right now, yeah.
So you said the average consumer is probably feeling it related to the home improvements, but it looks like everything else, they're choosing experiences to spend all
Right.
their money,
Yeah.
basically.
I mean,
I think
it makes sense. You had no experiences for 2 years.
if you're going to spend money.
If you're going to spend money, like, do I really need a new refrigerator? Everything's cold in there.
That's the idea.
Right.
I agree. Okay. Last story. Shein, one of our most talked
Dee's
about
favorite company.
Yeah, Dee's favorite company from his motherland, China. One of our most talked about companies probably on the pod. Just raised some money.
Yeah.
Raised $2 billion. Seems like a win, right? Everything's good?
Yeah, I mean, look, what's interesting is it's great to raise money in this climate. So you raised $2 billion, but the company is now valued at $66 billion, which is a third less than a year earlier.
Yeah, so it's $100 billion
Yes.
in their last round.
So even Shein, which we thought was kind of like bulletproof, is feeling the impact of a down round. And it further proves they're not profitable because everyone keeps telling me that they are. If you are profitable, you are not doing a down round and raising $2 billion.
No, you could just go public.
Exactly. So all the companies that tell me, oh, they're cash flow positive, I guess cash flow positive means nothing. You're an accountant. What does that mean?
It means you're not raising a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
It means you're not trying hard enough.
Admittedly, this was the first time I've ever heard of that company.
Jant.
Wow.
Really?
Well, they're not talking about it, El Cab. E-commerce hasn't got there yet.
No.
No.
They're going to Nordstrom's at the Topanga Mall.
Topanga Mall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's high school. It's probably what every girl in high school is wearing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. And you think, so Dee, what you're saying here is just the consumer's softening. Everyone's feeling it, even Shein.
I actually don't think, like, at their price point, I don't think, like, TJ Maxx came out with incredible numbers. Like, TJ Maxx had margin expansion, better profits, like, their business is strong. So I actually think the bigger problem is the economics of Shein obviously don't make sense.
And there's also storm clouds. There's headwinds. Once Congress figures out this company exists and is eating American retailers' lunch,
Yeah.
and it's Chinese owned.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I think the bigger problem is they found a loophole in not paying duties for product.
Yeah.
And so once that gets fixed, which I think it will, then they just have to raise prices. And then if they raise prices, they're just a smaller business because they can't compete with, what a discount retail in America can do.
Yep.
So like, I have nothing against it. I actually think the business is phenomenal. I think we broke an industry that needed to change, but I just think that like they're getting away with something that it's not fair with not paying duties on those goods. So ultimately, like they had to raise money again, and I was just always told they were profitable.
They can't be profitable because this is the worst time to raise money.
Yes, you would not take a 30% discount if you were profitable.
Yep.
This just doesn't make sense. So I think it's like further goes on when you go to the market and you start hearing, everyone just telling you these companies are profitable, but they're not.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
You want to wrap it up with some winners, losers, and content?
Yeah. Eric, you got some winners, you have some losers, and you have some content?
Eric, think about who your biggest winner the last week is.
You don't have to tell yet.
It can be me. That's fine. Then think about who the biggest loser of the last week is. That's not me, guaranteed. And then also any content, TV, books, movies, anything that you've consumed lately that you think maybe people should check out. Do you think you could put that together real quick while we go around the table here?
I'll think about it.
Okay.
I'll do my best.
D, who's your biggest winner of the last week?
My biggest winner is, I'm blanking on who got the number one pick yesterday.
San Antonio Spurs.
Oh yeah, what's up with that guy?
Yeah, the French guy. I don't know how to pronounce his
Victor
name.
Wembanyama.
Wembanyama.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying he's like some generational talent, crazy.
Yeah, so that's like the big buzz. He's tall. He's like 7'4".
7'5" without shoes is what's being reported.
Okay.
And he can dribble, shoot. He can do everything like Kevin Durant.
So I just think it's great for San Antonio Spurs. I think the basketball continues to need the next generation of stars. So this is a win for the NBA. My only concern is like we've seen historically people of that height.
Yep.
And his frame, it's a really, really tough to play. Like NBA is like a pretty rough sport. Not like football, but like, yeah, you gotta put on the weight. Otherwise it's really hard to sustain a long career. So, hopefully he does whatever's necessary, but
apparently he does have the team around him. He make sure he gets 11 hours of sleep a night. His diet's dialed, everything. But yeah, you're right. You're 7'5".
You just, and he looks like sticks.
Does Kevin Durant get hurt a lot?
He has been hurt.
Yeah.
He's torn his Achilles. He's had foot injuries in the past.
But not like those other.
Not like Greg Oden.
Yeah.
Eric's boy.
Yeah.
I was convinced. So the Blazers, that's his favorite team, that they were in the top four. They had a potential to be the number one pick. I was like, man, I hope he doesn't go to the Blazers. He's going to be Greg Oden 2.0.
Yeah.
Because Eric's just cursed.
Yeah. Okay.
Love that.
So that's my winner.
Eric, do you have anyone or anything that you'd like to highlight as a winner for the last week?
Can I do a loser?
Not yet.
We'll get on the next round. You want to skip winner?
On the winner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the winner, I got that old guy from El Cab that got a bad rap. That we've now justified his presence, and I want him to feel good about it.
It's funny because he's my loser, actually. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean,
who's your winner?
Winner was going to be San Antonio Spurs as well, but it's also like foreigners are just coming in, kicking our ass and everything.
Yeah. Oh, now the woke understand what's going on with all that immigration. You're worried about that immigration now, huh? Wokey?
Oh, my God.
But
I think we got to just open the borders up. We can't produce anything. Why do you think you can't find a contractor? You need immigration.
I agree. You need better engineers too here building companies.
Yeah.
They said, I don't know if this is fake news. They said on I read an article or something that there's 100 Chinese nationals coming across the border every day. Now it's so open that people are
those videos.
I see those videos of the guards just opening up the fence. Come on in.
Do you think it's fake?
I can't imagine. I mean, we spend billions a year protecting our border. How is their videos daily?
I know.
They're saying it's an absolute
look at San Francisco
crisis.
and LA. Look, we spend $1 billion on the city, and it's a joke.
Yeah.
I have another winner. Sam Altman went in front of Congress saying he owns no equity of OpenAI and convinced Congress that he's just this altruist that wants to do good for society and AI is the way. I've been told he sold all his equity in the last round, which is $30 billion valuation. He was the biggest shareholder.
So billions of dollars.
Billions of dollars, but got to go in front of Congress saying he owns no equity. So it's like pretty disingenuous, but good for him. He got a lot of good press.
And he's saying we need regulation, right?
Yeah, he got his money. What
Yeah,
does he
he's got
care?
his
Regulate
money.
the whole
He
thing.
probably wants to shut it down.
If I was him, I'd shut it down.
He knows he's about to get smoked by Google. He's like, fuck it.
Yeah,
Let me
open
just
it
join
as
this
toast.
side. He's going to make
Yeah.
$2 billion, be in charge of fucking regulation, whatever. Let Google take it.
let it be their headache.
But he just raised $100 million for a crypto project. Is that true?
Yeah, he's trying to raise the
The
world
fuck?
coin.
Busy guy.
Eric's all over the world coin.
My winner. Oh, you know what? I hate to say it, especially Anand. My winner's old Donnie Trump, man. He went on this CNN. Do you guys see that? Like they did like a CNN town hall type thing and thought, I don't know
Yep.
what the fuck they were thinking. Because keep in mind, I do not want Donald Trump to be our next president. But that felt like Trump himself could not have orchestrated a better
And he
campaign
said the
moment.
craziest shit too. That
Oh
was
my
what's
gosh.
wild.
And the crowd like gave him a standing ovation and like he was just lighting it up. It's like, what are you doing? How is that? I think they must just be like, fuck it. We don't actually care politically. We just need ratings.
Yeah.
That's Trump could not have designed that better himself.
That reporter that was interviewing him got announced today. She's like a lead anchor now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're just going to
Yeah,
go
look.
all in on Trump. Who cares what happens in the election? We need the ratings.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear, like, you go right in terms of, like, cable news. That's what's resonating. That's what people want to see on cable news because that's who's left watching it.
Yep.
That's who's... So it's an older generation, and they're generally lean more conservative.
Or you just go like, look at how scary Trump is. Look how terrible Trump is. And it's just ratings because people are obsessed with like, oh my God, he said that. He did that. Like his take on like the Access Hollywood tape and the
January
sexual
6th.
assault allegations, January 6th. I mean, this guy
said he
can
was gonna-
bob and weave.
Pardon all the insurrectionists that got convicted.
But he's too
Insane.
good of a communicator. Like you got to keep him off
He's a
the
showman.
air.
That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
And
Anyway.
he's funny. We all watch it. We all consume it.
Yeah, he won that one. Okay, losers. D, who's your loser?
My loser is the United States government if they don't raise the debt ceiling. So I think today kind of signaled like they were close. I was watching Kevin McCarthy, is the Speaker of the House, talk that Biden is willing to negotiate now on some of these things that the Republicans want. But I mean, obviously it's always the doomsday people speaking about it, but like the secondary impacts of not raising the debt ceiling. Like I was looking at how much money was drawn down today. It was on Zero Hedge and they broke down where all the money went. Like you literally, like people don't get paychecks if they don't raise the debt ceiling, like government workers. It's the impact is so bad so quickly. And I think people were talking about at the beginning of the year, like we should address this. Don't wait till June 1st.
They
Like-
just know it's going to get done. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
There's no incentive to get it, to work on
Push
it.
everyone to the limit.
Yeah.
And then
And
make,
see if you could squeeze someone out on either side
yeah.
and just kind of torpedo some legislation that one side wants and doesn't want.
Yeah.
It's just all games. It's all bullshit.
Yeah. But it continues to be the government because they just keep showing their incompetence. And then like, you know, people's careers, jobs, livelihoods are at stake. And for them, it's just a power struggle.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That's a good one. All right, Eric. What is it? What's your
I'm not
loser?
that dialed into world news, so I'm going to keep it sports. I'm going to say Joel Embiid, who...
Oh, okay, okay. I thought it was going to be golf
yeah.
related.
No,
I thought
we've had
Jama
enough of
was
that.
your loser.
I know, man. I was like, go ahead, give it
I
to
thought
me.
that was... I was waiting for you to do that one. No, Joel Embiid, who
He's
won the
winning.
MVP.
He's getting invited everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
but he
keep
feels
this up.
bad about it now.
I'm just going to
Joel
roast
Embiid
every
won the
clubhouse.
MVP and in Game 7 of the last series faltered. Terrible game. And then now Jokic is basically killing it in every game, and it's all anybody's talking about related to basketball. So it's sort of the worst of both worlds and a lot of off-season trade type talk. So tough week for him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay,
What
that's a
pays
good one.
Rich?
That's just a good quality loser. Anand?
It's sports, but it's more cultural. John Morant,
Man, that's going to be
Definitely
mine
my-
too.
biggest loser. And it's really just like glorifying this culture that people want to be a part of that don't have to be a part of it. So if people haven't followed, he was caught at a strip club on his own IG Live like 2 months ago with a gun. Being in a strip club is not illegal. Owning a gun is not illegal, but it's just like he got told by the NBA, you can't do this. Adam Silver, the commissioner, was on the draft broadcast saying he was shocked because he told them he's already been suspended 8 games for that. And what is really telling is, I don't want to make this a race thing, but it is race related. On all the talking head shows, First Take, Shannon Sharp Show, NBA Countdown, the black commentators tend to protect when a black athlete is being
Targeted.
Mm-hmm.
And they are kid gloves off, going off on John Morant. They all are insiders. They all know the family. I think Shannon Sharp said, or Kedrick Perkins said, I know the family and I saw the way they were moving when they got to the NBA, and I told them, you guys got to chill. Like, this is going to like come
JJ Redick backed him up.
I know. He's woke. he knows how to trend. He's gotten really good at this. Like, he's on First Take now.
Yeah, it's clickbait like you.
He backed up
He was
Ja.
saying
He backed up.
that it's
He
not
said he didn't do
illegal,
anything
right?
wrong.
He said nothing he did was illegal. Why are we trying to bury this kid? And all the black commentators are burying this kid.
Yeah.
Which I
so
think
I
is
just want to say
ironic.
one thing in case any of our listeners haven't followed the story. The part you didn't say, Anand, was that was 2 months ago. He just did it again.
Yeah.
So he had that conversation with Silver. He got reprimanded. He got 8-game suspension, and then he just did it again last week or over the weekend or whatever.
Well, I think probably where the commentators are coming from is the same. Like, the first thing that happened, people kind of protected him. And I remember having conversations with some of my friends, which was like, it wasn't illegal, give the kid a break. And then they put themselves out there and he does it again. You're sort of...
Yeah, and the reality is he is an NBA employee, so he has to follow the rules of what the boss, the commissioner, says you need to do and not do. And if the boss is telling you this behavior is not going to be tolerated, you're in the wrong whether it's legal or illegal to hold a gun in an open carry state.
Yeah. Because the second time he was on somebody else's IG Live, is that what happened?
His friend's IG Live. And the friend even saw the gun he put the phone down, but in this Moran on, screenshot.
Why are you on IG Live?
You're like, what are you doing, man? He's so
dumb.
It's so stupid.
And the way, like, the Stephen A. Smiths and Shannon Sharps and all these guys who obviously know his dad, they know the they're insiders, right?
Yeah.
The way they're talking, they're probably like, we all tried to talk to this family.
Yeah.
And no one's fucking listening.
Yeah.
So this kid needs to be taught a lesson.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And even you have the gangsters. Sorry, the last thing. You have, like, I don't know if they're real gangsters or not. They're on TikTok. And they're just,
Yep,
I mean, they're on TikTok.
Definitely gangsters.
they're basically like, you don't come from this neighborhood. You don't come from this part of the world and in the inner city. So stop acting like it. It's disrespectful to us.
Because he throws up
hashtag
gang signs and
TikTok
stuff,
gangs, and that's how you get your
There's
information.
a guy, Brick Baby.
Yeah, he throws up gang signs a lot. He throws up like the 60s, which is a Crip gang in LA. And like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know who he knows, but like, what are you doing, man? It's so crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe JJ protected him. That was insane.
I can't believe you're rich and you doing this stupid shit. Well, you should be at underground sex parties.
100%. I could see the way Eric agreed.
Well,
with
he
that.
was at a strip
It
club.
was like, now
Yeah,
we're
at
talking.
At least choke a cat out and start tucking yourself off, right?
Oh man, go to El Cab, man. It's fine.
Oh God. Okay.
Okay, content recommendations. D, any recommendations?
I haven't been watching a whole lot, but I finally, the key on movies is you got to wait it out till it comes to streaming. Air is now on Amazon Prime.
I mean, so fast. It happens so fast.
Yeah. I think that was planned.
That was planned. Yeah.
That was planned.
But I'm just telling you, there's
so-
movies. I'm trying to think of what one I just saw last night. I forget, but I feel like because, theaters are a little soft and streaming is where the views are. I feel like it's quicker than it used to be of like coming out on
Well,
video.
it depends who the production company is. So Amazon, when they made this movie, said we're going to have a short release in the theaters and then it's going to be available for everyone streaming. Netflix did it with the Jonah Hill movie. I forget the name.
You people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was short release for a few weeks and then it was on Netflix right after.
Yeah.
So that's kind of their strategy.
Yeah, I think I'm the one that I'm obviously waiting for is Fast, but that's going to be a while. That'll be a year.
When did it come
But
out?
that's not
in
going to come to
theaters?
streaming right away.
Yeah, it'll be a year. Yeah.
When was it in theaters?
It's coming out this weekend or next weekend.
I bet you, my honest bet is 4 months it's on Apple TV.
Yeah, but you got to pay for it. I'm not paying for it.
$20?
It's like no, it's like 24. The new movies are like $25. I'm not doing all that.
You're not going to, support
$20,
Vin.
I won't do it. $4.99, I'll pay.
It's your favorite franchise.
I'll give
of
you
all time?
$25. You watch it the first day it's out.
Why you could gift
Wow.
it to me?
Oh, you
I'll
can.
gift it to you.
Yeah,
You
You let
can
me
buy
know
it
when
and
it's
send
out.
it.
yeah.
I'll gift it to you.
I don't want to buy it. If I get it as a gift, I'll take it.
Because when you're doing your timeline, you're waiting for like Airplane. That's a year.
Yeah. Airplane gets it faster than streaming. Just so you guys, if you ever want to see a movie earlier,
Just
don't want to
book a
pay
flight?
for it, book a flight.
Got it. If you don't want to spend the
Like the
25
movie
bucks.
selection
Makes a
on
lot of
Delta the other
financial
day was
sense.
unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm just too tired. I fell asleep.
Great financial advice. I love that when we have the business manager on, you give
Spend $2,500 on a flight, save $20.
save 25.
Great. I love it.
Eric, do you got any content?
So I don't consume a lot, but the show Dave on Hulu,
Yeah.
which I think is in its third season, wasn't that great last season, and this season so far has been like insanely funny. A lot of the episodes.
That's Little Dicky.
It's Little Dicky,
Yeah.
and there's some just shock value stuff. Good things happening
The-
there.
Like
The
weird
billboards-
stuff, right? Like, don't they do weird kind of?
Yeah, they do weird shit.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
weird. It's like weird, and you have to have sort of raunchy.
Seems like a gateway drug to
We know you
choking
like that.
kittens.
It might be, but
Yeah.
I found it funny.
Got it.
I found it
Makes
funny.
a lot of sense. No, I've heard it's funny that Dave or Little Dicky like is a rapper, obviously, but like I feel like he's much more known now as a TV personality. Like that show is really big, I think, and I think a lot of
Wait,
people.
isn't White Man Can't Jump coming out? I think that's on streaming with Jack Harlow.
Oh,
that
wow.
Amazon?
I didn't know that.
It's one of those. It's Netflix,
Wow.
Amazon, one of those.
That'd be good to check
Hot.
out. Okay, Dave, got it. Anand,
Just Lakers king. That's all I'm focused on.
what'd you think after? Down 20 at the half,
I
down
felt
3
good.
at the end
I
of the
felt
game.
real
It
good
felt,
about that loss.
felt like they
I felt
figured
great
it
about
out
that.
halfway through, right?
I think so. I think
And also, I feel like they were just like not missing a shot, man.
Yeah,
like, there
you
was
can't
some
make shots like
lucky
that all the time.
bullshit happening.
yeah, that's gonna be tough to replicate. 69% from long twos.
To me, it feels like Drago versus Rocky.
I mean,
Yeah, that's
Jokic
fair.
has to get tired. Does everything.
Yeah. A tall guy, huh?
Mine is just Succession. There's only 2 episodes left, and then it's over forever.
wow.
So
Really? Fuck, I gotta
sad
catch up.
times. Yeah,
After the dad died, I just stopped watching.
yeah. I don't know. Yeah,
I gotta say, I liked Succession more than I thought before this season. I'm bored this season.
it's a little
Well,
slow.
I'm bored.
I'm a couple behind, so I don't know.
Yeah, I just been bored.
I'm
It's
over
a
it since
little
the dad
slow.
died. I don't even, like, he was the show to me.
Dad died was like the big. It feels like they packed all of the shock into one moment, and then the rest of the season's been a little slow.
Yeah. They sailed it in.
I mean, there's 2 more episodes, and it's gone forever. So yeah, maybe they checked out.
Okay.
Okay, well there you have it. That's our episode. Any shout outs?
Yeah, big shout out, Eric Deluxe. This guy is hard at work in his little Santa's elf workshop.
He sure
His
is.
office. I mean, he's dropping off camo hats every single day into
Yeah.
our office.
Yeah.
Like he's like, here's 50, here's 100, here's this. So Kathy's, I don't know how much longer he's gonna make these hats. So head on over to shopnewrepublic.com,
Yep.
buy a camo hat, because I know one day he's just gonna blow up at me.
Yeah,
I mean, probably like tomorrow.
It's hand-to-hand combat. Hand-to-hat combat.
Yeah.
We're selling quite a number of them.
Yeah. So, I mean,
That's actually his worst nightmare. You want to see
My
how
wife
quick we
got
can
some
burn out
merch.
Eric?
Did she?
Yeah, Shannon got some merch to the house. She told me I should be wearing it. I'm going to take one of the 150 I saw in Dee's office.
She ordered it?
She ordered it.
That's
Unless you
amazing.
sent-
Oh, no,
okay,
I didn't
you did.
send
Yeah,
it.
she ordered it. Got herself a sweatshirt and a hat. I'm
So for
And then she
sufficiently
doesn't get free product.
embarrassed, but
For the listener,
That's
Eric
amazing.
doesn't listen to group chat, but his wife does. What did she say about the golf?
well, she said similar to what a lot of people think. She says she wants me to play less.
Yeah.
But she likes the banter and she laughs. She likes people making fun of me almost as much as Anand likes
Wow.
people making fun of me. So
Wow,
she's
wow.
enjoying it.
Okay.
Good times.
A lot of people in my life really enjoy when I get shit on. It's a very
It's
weird,
a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just something that exists.
I think
It's
it's
the
more of how you
jabs.
handle it.
I
It's
love
the
it.
jabs,
Yeah.
bro. It's that you take little jabs and then you're like, whoa, why are you shooting back?
No, I don't. But I like it. It's fun.
Okay,
Everyone's
okay,
having
okay.
some laughs.
That's
yeah.
fair.
Eric is fun to, jab with.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a jabber. But that's why I'm
You know,
saying
he's
I don't want to be
self-deprecating. It's
worse
good.
than
Yeah.
you at anything.
Well, we'll start listing those things next time. 'Cause there's probably more than one.
We don't have all the time in the world.
Yeah.
And we have a shout out. We do
yep.
have a shout out.
What do we got?
From Eric to Kevin. Big shout out. So Eric just had his 27th birthday, and he's the one that got. I guess. Hold on, I'm confused here. He
Yeah.
just had his 20th birthday.
Interesting story with Eric here. Or
Oh my
to
God.
Kevin.
You don't say the part, right?
That's why I don't. That's why I stopped.
I think you just do a shout out and he
And
appreciates.
you guys started learning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck to his brother's wedding this weekend.
Okay. To Kevin's brother.
Yeah.
I think
okay.
it's. I think it's.
From
yeah,
Eric.
Kevin's-
Shout out to Kevin. Congrats on blah, blah, blah. You guys are listening together.
Can you do it? Because
Yeah.
I'm very
Got-
confused.
Kevin got Eric into the pod.
Okay.
Kevin's brother's getting married.
And Kevin's girl left.
Do you want me to
No,
do it?
Eric got Kevin into the pod.
I don't know. I'm so
Okay, here it is.
No.
Go
Kevin got Eric into the pod.
No, wrong.
Yes. No.
Correct.
It's from
I'm better
Eric.
than you at the shout outs.
It's
well as
from
golf.
Eric to Kevin, and he's
From
telling
Eric. Okay,
Kevin,
yes,
"Thank
yes,
you
yes,
for
you're
getting
right.
me into the pod."
You're right. I'm sorry. And I will admit when I'm wrong. Unlike El Cab, I'm wrong here.
Do you want me to moderate next episode?
Maybe
All right.
you do the shout out.
We're gonna simplify this, guys. We're gonna leave all what we just said on. We'll bleep out some of the parts, but big shout out from Eric to Kevin. Kevin, I think, got Eric into the pod.
What's the other way?
No, Eric.
No,
Kevin.
He's right.
Kevin got
said
Eric.
first?
Kevin got Eric.
Kevin listened to the pod and told Eric about it.
Okay.
Now Eric listens to the pod. He's very grateful for that.
And
Yeah,
now
yeah,
there's someone's getting married.
Someone's getting
It's
married.
a big fucking party.
Kevin's brother.
And
Yeah.
shout out. Thank you guys. Have a great fucking weekend.
Holy shit. Oh my God. Okay. That's it. Great episode. Everyone have a great rest of your week. See you later.